What I also love doing in these positions right here to further the internal rotation of this right hip, I will maybe, I'll maybe head first into kind of this anterior medial lunge with a toe tap, come on back, and then my load, or I'll go kind of this opposite side rotation, this medial lunge, and then up, boom. So this is all to further my load from the top down with my upper extremity loading that right scap, which is then going to load my right hip and the internal rotation better. And then I can go this opposite side frontal plane lunge or medial lunge. So here, so let's redo that. So here, toe tap, and then up. And again, we can add some presses to the mix. Presses to the mix. I also, with this, will add some single leg toe touchdown, kind of some picks and kind of presses to get things kind of rolling a little bit, to kind of preset, to preload things, to get things jazzed up. But my initial go-tos will be wooden dowel, progressive oscillations, to sequencing the 3D row and presses with TZ1B, to then adding these multi-dimensional lunges, loading into TZ1A, sequencing into TZ1B. So, and I probably should have mentioned, instead of making another episode out of this, let's go, a lot of times I'll add this kind of this frontal plane lunge first to an opposite side frontal plane lunge. Let's play around with a few of these. So same side frontal plane lunge to, and we can hold this position, so here to here to here. So I'm really teeter-tottering that side to side frontal plane lunges, and we can open up that same side lunging leg too a little bit if we want to. Boom to boom and boom. You go to finish and follow up with throwing a baseball. After those, great, phenomenal load. With our single leg toe touchdown progressions, if I want to go after loading up kind of that right hip, I'll go with first I'll go with an ipsilateral kind of single leg toe touchdown, a little pick and a little press with a progressive oscillation. I'll jazz it up with going a med ball and the pressing arm. So I'll go in sync with my load. As this right arm then, as it picks and comes on up, and as I press right here, stays very well loaded, which gives my thoracic spine a tremendous load from the top down, a preset load, to further take advantage of the mobility, three-dimensional mobility I've now created. I'll go in sync 90, and it literally feels like this cannon I've got loaded here with my right upper extremity and scap, which is going to be just ripped on and propelled by my hips and feet and ankles. Boom, boom. And then here, once I get here, again, I love the progressive oscillations. I will, with a lunge-wise, I'll go with this kind of, this reach, this posterior lateral reach with this pick and this press, this opposite side rotational lunge to my TZ1B. So I'll go external to internal rotation of that right hip, and then further my load into TZ1B here, and here, here, and here. If I want to, again, go after kind of the flexion, extension-like components, I would maybe go a left-legged kind of anterior lunge. I could go with my pick or my reach kind of in sync right here. And as I come on up, I am then kind of being driven into some more kind of anterior rotation. So, boom, boom. I can then go with a little bit more load of kind of a flexion with an out of sync load with my upper extremity back to the midpoint to give me a little more, so the teeter-totter between the sagittal plane, that flexion, boom, will give me better extension. And I can go a little more anterior medial with it. Extension, can transition to a little more flexion, and then extension, or I can go boom, boom, preset and load the flexion to get better extension. TZ1B training concepts, play with those tools. It's going to improve the loadability of your three-dimensional cannon and make you more efficient for throwing.